Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are doing great. So today I just want to wish you a happy Children's Day to all of you out there. And on in this occasion, when I was a student in my college, and then I became a teacher, and then again I'm a student. So I think my journey has been very adventurous throughout these years, and I really miss this day, because when I was a student, I still remember my teachers used to, celebrate it very nicely, and they all uh, just invite us for a big party, and we have a big cake, a very very big cake for the whole department, and then we all enjoyed. We have functions, musics, and dance. And when I became a teacher, then we teachers, the faculty staff, we used to throw parties with the student. I still remember the last time of how I celebrated. We went for a trekking, 2-3 hours trekking for a temple in the Himachal Pradesh, and there were all the students of BPT. So we take all the students of BPT to that trek, and then we made food for them. We actually cooked many recipes for them, including suji ka halwa and Maggie also. That and that day was memorable for me, and I really enjoy these kind of events. So as you all know, this day is being celebrated to honor the Prime Minister of India. He's the first Prime Minister of India, and Dr. Jawaharlal Nehru. And his tribute for children, his love for children after his death, this day is being celebrated as the Children's Day. And this day is very important for children because in this day there are many awareness camps are happening to aware the children about the education, about their rights, and about all the things related to their welfare. So this is a very big day for students and children in school and college going students. So in the comment section, you can tell me how you celebrated your this day, and if you have done anything good, then just mention it in the comment section so that you can inspire the others also, and you can motivate some other people who are watching these videos. So guys, let's move to the review. The name of this book, which I'm going to review, is also very amazing, and it has done actually miracles in the world of science. So today I'm going to review the incredible neuroscience book. The name of this book is Permanent Present Tense. The Permanent Present Tense is written by Suzanne Corkin, and this tells the story of a person named Henry Molaison, and it is also called HM. After his death, his name was revealed due to the privacy concerns, and he was a man who lost his memory, and he was not able to form the new memories, and yet he transformed our entire understanding of the human brain. So ये जो बुक है ये मैं सबको recommend करता हूँ, those who are in the neuroscience field, they should read this because I literally love this book, and this book will tell you all about memory things, and this is a true story. This is not a fictional thing. This is a true story of a man who lost his memory, and still he gave so much information about memory to the human uh, consciousness, or to the science world. I'd say scientific world. Sorry. So Henry Molaison suffered from epilepsy, and then in 1953 he went under surgery, and the doctors thought at that time that the hippocampus is a very important part in the memory. So they removed the sorry, they don't know about that hippocampus is the important part in the memory. They just remove his temporal lobe, and in the first time in the history, bilateral temporal lobotomy was performed. So what happens as a result? His seizures stopped, his epilepsy is gone, but the problem was he was not able to make the new memories, and that's how it opens the door of memories. Then there was a this author Suzanne Corkin. He's a neuroscientist. So she's a neuroscientist, and she studied him for 40 years after this incident. She studies for 40 years, and she wrote all this information in this book, and how it happened, and he was a very good person. Henry Molaison is a very good person, and Susan Corkin documented all his activities and how the mind works. At that time, in fact, MRI was also not developed. I guess MRI or CT was not developed, so they struggled a lot, And then after some years, in these 40 years, this development of MRI and a CT scan were there, and then we got to know so much about the brain. And despite having a permanent present tense, the Henry Molaison, he remained very kind, patient, and cooperative. He helped the neuroscience to uncover the mysteries of unconsciousness and consciousness. So uh, you will just love this book, And I actually conduct a webinars, the neuroanatomy of hippocampus. In that webinar, I talk about this case in detail, because this is a book review. I'm not going to talk about in detail, but in that video, I talk about in detail and I tell the people how the memory is associated with the other parts. And that was the first time when they got to know about this much about the memory. The three things which you can get from this book, actually there are many things. This is very amazing book, Still, the three things which you can get from this book is, first is, memory has many parts. There was the first time when the scientists know that there is not a single part of a brain which controls memory, and there is not a specific type of memory. There are many types of memory. For example, like procedural memory, semantic memory, episodic memory, because these are the memories which are affected, and some of them were retained in this patient. The second thing is the role of hippocampus. So before this case, hippocampus, for I would rather say it was underrated or something. But after this case, the scientists have focused on the hippocampus, and Henry case revealed that hippocampus is a very critical uh, in forming the new long-term memories. So if we'll talk about memories, we have short-term memory and long-term memory in brief. So there are different parts of the brain which controls this part of the memory things. Suppose if you got a OTP, you just see it and you just write it down in the application or wherever it is needed, and after 30 seconds you just forget it. If anyone will ask you what is the OTP, you won't be remembered, because that is not for remembering. That is the first short memory. But if you do it repetition, then this will go into the different part of your brain, and that will store there. So that is your permanent memory. So that's why the book is called as permanent present tense. So the third thing is human side of the science. So beyond this experiments, it's about empathy and how a man tragedy can become a gift to neuroscience. You know, there are other cases also, like there are different books for different patients who has actually given their whole life to the neuroscience, and if they were not there, if the cases are not there, we were still clueless about many things in the neuroscience. So thank you to all these patients who has given their life just so that we can understand our human brain and human body more effectively. And one more thing, the Susan Corkin has actually written this book in a very systematic way, or I would say very simple language, so that even if you're not a neurotherapist, and even if you're not from a neuro or science background, you will understand each and everything from this book. It has written in a very story format, like a fictional format, but this is a true story. Everything that is written in this book is true, and it happened to him in over the 40 years, and it is documented, well documented. And there are experiments also. There are amazing experiments. You will read it, you will just be amazed about the experiment, that how these experiments happened the first time. And if you want to know about my story, I was doing a course. The name of this course is Everyday Neurology in Everyday. So that teacher told me about this book, that there's a book called Permanent Present, and we were learning about the memory. And then she told about that this is a guy and this thing happened to him. If you want to read more, you can read this book, Permanent Present Tense. And then I buy this book, I read this book, and it's actually very amazing. So if you will read this book, you will thank you will gonna thank me a lot, after reading this book. So I wish you will read this book and learn about memory and store this into your memory, in your long-term memory. So that's it for this videos, guys. And if anyone who is curious about brain, your memory, then you can read this. And thank you so much, and see you in the next video. Till then, keep learning, keep growing yourself, and don't forget to share these videos with your colleagues and with your other physiotherapist and the other. If you have any person who is interested in the book reviews or book reading, these kind of book readings, then you can send it. And just don't forget to tell me how you spend your children in the comments. Okay, thank you so much, guys. See you in the next video. Bye bye.